If you're watching this, it's already too late. I'm in Paris right now for EWC, probably pilaying on the Eiffel Tower. I needed content for this week's YouTube video, and I stumbled across this pre-recorded VOD that I made for my team Reason Gaming. I am choosing to leak this footage not because of the content and how insightful it is, but the raw and genuine attitudes that I have to the players is one of the most accurate insights that you guys can have for a professional team environment. I recorded this video all on my own. It was sent into the team PC in preparation for one of our Tier 1 Ignite games, and we were actively trying to address some talking points that were impacting the quality of our scrims. I hope you guys enjoy. Let's talk about this because the Crownfall block, we did a couple of things. We tried the Mantis first ban, we tried the Gambit first ban. We're just going to scan through it, right? The Mantis first ban didn't seem no, sorry, the Gambit first ban didn't seem that bad on payload. They actually really struggled to attack. I am still a big believer of the Mantis first ban. Please ban Mantis first if it's up to me. However, I will say against Crownfall specifically, they seem to be a very good Gambit playing team in comparison to a Mantis playing team, right? The thing about the Crownfall roster in particular, and I won't spend too long on this because I don't really care about Crownfall as a team. I don't think that we should hard prep for them. But the thing about Crownfall is obviously they have someone that's preferred to be on Gambit, and then on top of that, if you force them on some form of triple support or Mantis playing team, they have to adapt their style of play, they have to shuffle around the roster. They don't really have a set triple support playing person. Obviously, there's the argument that now you don't need to run triple sub when Mantis is in play, so they could still 2-2-2 it. And I think that's the main reason why I would still opt to Mantis ban, because the comps become really unpredictable. Really unpredictable. But cool. With that being said, compositionally, we know the successes of our comp, but the synergy, guys, we need to actually lock in. We actually need to lock in with the synergy, because we have the dive split. This is completely fine. We have the kill ult, but the kill ult here can be cleansed, right? We have the synergy amongst these two characters, and arguably, we actually have synergy between the Venom and the Gambit and the Starlord. Now, this thing, Rosa locks the thing because we said that we are happy to play thing into Rogue. And this was good. But the issue is, we're forgetting fundamentals about this game, right? Venom thing, without a full dive team comp, how is the thing going to live? We can't play it slow, we have to play it for dive. He can easily be angled, he can easily be poked out. Guys, I know North American propaganda is telling us not to play double shield or double ground tank. It's not even double shield. Just run Mag Thing. That's an ult that can be considered a kill ult into the Gambit, and this thing allows for counterplay. Starlord is not strictly a dive character. Starlord is a mark / lane control anchor. You know, we don't need to dive in on him super hard. We can play for ults. We can still mark all lanes on this comp. Just play the Mag. Play it more front to back. It's completely fine. Because look, you're going to play it out. We're going to play first fight. We'll even put it on 2 times speed. We get absolutely touched. We get absolutely touched. Patsy, this is horrible. And this is why I like pre-recording VODs, right? Because I can flame you guys without any interruptions, without any laughter, without any stupid jokes from Simba, okay? Why are we diving? Is this the kill box? Is this really the dive kill box? Why do we ever go inside this hole? Set up above, drop on the kill box. Set up above, drop on the kill box. Set up above, drop on the kill box. Easy. Very easy. No dive pressure. We have a lonely thing, and that thing is not going to be able to sustain any damage. Now, what do? We make the swap. We make the swap. We correctly identified that we need to mag here. Of course we need to mag here. But we're forgetting that we drafted around the thing. Yo, we drafted around thing and penny comps because we've been playing with cow. So now we don't have the thing. What do you think is going to happen to this Mag Venom setup? The rogue is going to absolutely touch us. Very simple concept. Very simple concept. So once again, we're playing it out. What do you think is going to happen? That's illegal. That's not even a Mag issue. That's not a thing issue. That is Simba inting. Now we're walking, we're poking, but is this real poke? This is kind of LARP poke. They know we can't kill anything without the Elsa. We know we can't kill anything without the Elsa. So right now, they're actually doing really poorly. The fact that they're completely, like, not following up on this. They're not
They're not punishing this. Passy is going in, which kind of helps with the counter hit. I think this is a very nice counter dive Passy. I think this is very, very good. Wait, I'm drawing? Ah. Yo, so I'm not gonna lie. I was using my Epic pen, but I realized you couldn't see any of the drawings until now. Sorry about that, but thankfully it was only 5 minutes into the VOD. But yeah, we'll start from now, I guess. But yeah, essentially we're just gonna get rolled. We're gonna get rolled. We're gonna get rolled. Guess what happens second point now? Oh my god. We're on a natural comp, guys. We're on a natural comp. We swapped off the Starlord for no reason, but actually I like the Psylocke. Psylocke here is not bad. I don't think Rosa needs to stand on this corner this early. I think he can get poked out very, very easily, but he's back. We need somewhere to hold the corners. Where is my mag, bro? I just feel like my mag needs to be the furthest up. Is that a ridiculous take? Is that a ridiculous take? My mag needs to be the one that's swinging. Someone else could hold the corner. Right now, this guy is just holding a corner that is not a good corner because they can get angled very, very easily. My mag could probably be here, to be honest. This is a really, really awkward. We're just sacrificing all the map control. By my mag choosing to be here, we're playing for this much space. We're playing for 10% of the map. Trollington. They force no, we have nothing, but they low-key don't have anything either. We're kind of unfortunate because the ults that we have in play right now are really not good. We're coming up to a mag, we kind of need to use that defensively. That is an incredibly lucky pick, but yeah. Oh, Rashid on the keyboard and mouse. Rashid. Now we're poking up. Can we stuff this choke slightly more? Question. This is a question. Think about this, Rosa. Rosa, if you're planted here, is that not a lot harder for them to pass? You can earthbound them on the cross. They can't grab you. You get a mag bubble sustain. The mag is in safer range from the wall. Can poke a lot more from main. Why don't we stuff the door? Why did we not make every single walk hard? Why do we not make every single walk hard? And now we play in this area of space and we have to use the cooldown. Just set up earlier. Don't be afraid. This is the issue with you guys, right? We're so passive with everything that we do. It's so unbelievably cringe. People are just able to walk out of doorways versus us. It's terrible. Every single walk up. Let me just ask you this, right? If we're playing against Na'Vi or Heretics, do you think any of these people can get through this choke without being dead by now? Like, unironically. That's not even an exaggeration. I'm not glazing these teams for no reason. There's absolutely no reason why 3 people at their choke are purple and don't die. You know what I mean? There's no way. We need to be explosive with hits. We need to be explosive with hits. Explosive with hits. Cool. Now let's talk about this. The aggression. Right? Because there was a very, very, very nice conversation that we had in regard to Sky saying that we're being too passive or being too aggressive. Right? I like stuffing chokes. But the earlier we set up, the further up we can set up. We've lost this choke. We've lost this choke. Here is the furthest in this situation we can set up. Here is the furthest. And I know this isn't the exact same situation, but right now, Sky's question is, do we need to go in this bunker to clean up a fight? In this situation, I guess they're down. I think it's completely fine. It staggers them even more. I think it's completely fine. Unnecessary, but completely fine. Now we're winning, now we're winning. Nice. Good cleanup. I just saw some really random slams from Rashid there, but I'm just gonna ignore it because you won the fight. But imagine the kill or the ult order. You guys are talking about open up with this, open up with this. Guys, we're playing into Gambit. Is that not brain dead? I will always opt to open with this, have them respond with this, and then have us use this after. I don't care if they commit another 2 ults and win the fight. I don't care, I don't care. Let them use 4. They haven't got a single % on the board. You know? Like, is that ever gonna work? We do that 300 times, that's gonna work like 12. Now we have to sustain, and then they just have a Luna match. And just like that, we've used 4 ults in a fight that has lasted 4 seconds. Because our ult order is terrible. You don't apply a lot of my fundamentals when it comes to ult cycling and tempo. This is the thing, you know. I'm not even joking. The only thing that I got translated in the phase environment was ult cycles and tempo. Ult cycles and tempo. I'm telling you, if there's one thing that you need to listen to me for, ult cycles, tempo, and obviously angles as well. But I feel like we're going to struggle with that a lot more. If you apply those 3 things and get them correct every single time, we'll win 3 times the amount of games. You know? You can disagree with me with the drops, you can disagree with me with the comps you roll out on and stuff like that. But the things that I tell you about tempo and ult cycles is like damn near mathematical. You just need to understand the impact and how strong it is, the effect, and what it actually does, and how we play off the back of it. Because it's all cause and effect. Just respond to their responses. Now they have more ults. Now they're gonna pop the ults. They're gonna win the fight. We're gonna have way less. You know? And then on top of that, we've now lost the fight which we committed 4 ults to. Doesn't make sense. Be a little composed. Rosa. Then we take a fast TP because we killed too late. And then we just take forever to take the TP. So now everyone's back. The rogue is back. Which is it's just a kind of an ugly fight, but like I understand the logic. Good idea. Like I'm not gonna tell you not to do that.
An unseen assist.
Team's capture progress has passed the halfway point.
Oh, I was thinking, where's Passy? Passy's dead. I didn't even realize. You guys are committing ults to a fair fight. You know why this is problematic? Ult cycles are not promised to us anymore. If you mess up a King of the Hill round, if you mess up a domination round, bro, you'll get 1 ult max if you play it badly. You know? So we can't take these fights where we're popping ults that could get a kill. I really, really hate them. Really, really hate them. I think we need to try and take more unfair fights, dump ults in ult fights where we know we have an advantage. It's as simple as that. Get percentage on the board early. The game state has changed and we actually haven't commented on it. We're like really, really bad at ult cycles right now when ult cycles are actually valuable. They mean something. They mean a lot more than what they did prior. They mean a lot more. I don't like the random swaps. I know we're trying to swap to get an extra win, but again, I think that we could very much still be on thing here if we play it properly.
No winner yet. Going to
And that was our only convincing round. What did we swap to again? Now we're on the Mag Venom. Same predicament as first round, guys. Use your brains, please. Please, 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 please. We've seen this before. And like, nah, there actually does need to be an aspect of trust as well. Because I know if I'm playing the game, I wouldn't pick up on that from first round, that this is the reason why we're losing. However, as your coach, and I'm a coach that shows up. I show up 90% of the time when it comes to scrims and stuff, right? What do you think I'm looking at? Genuine question. What do you think I'm looking at when I see stuff? Like, I need you guys to trust me when I unmute and I say, like, yo, we're losing because of this. That's kind of my job, you know what I mean? Like, I could be a coach that perma-mutes, and I know I have had blocks where I perma-mute. And that's, like, typically when I'm looking at stuff where I know I'm not really confident in understanding, then those blocks I just like mute up and just try and figure out what's happening. But like the compositional side of coaching, strategic coaching, compositional coaching, when it comes to like creating macro through characters and especially getting an edge on opponents when it comes to like playstyles, different unfair fights, different stacks, different angles that we could take. And technically like drops and countercomps come into that as well. Like that is where my strength actually lies. Cycles, aggression, and stuffing. These are the mind states that, in my opinion, are non-negotiables. Like those are the things that I really, really do not want to have like any sort of friction regarding, because I know if you play faster than certain things, tempo is the only thing that separates top teams from weaker teams. How fast can you transition from one decision to another decision? That's all it is. You can see it in different games, even like the angle poke based comps and stuff like that. I remember Korea were forcing it early Marvel Rivals and they were terrible. They were terrible. But the issue was, it was because angles were harder to develop. They were too slow. It was a pace thing. A front to back comp completely running over angle comp should never happen. But the fact that the front to back comp was so fast because it was better prepped, easier, more practiced, they were ending up winning against these random Korean or Asian teams just based off the fact that people can transition faster in the North American region and stuff like that. That's a good fight win. Now we think about aggression. Aggression, cleanup. Setup's more important than the cleanup. Setup is more important than the cleanup. I like this. Why? Simba is mobile. Simba can clean up. Simba is the only one that needs to clean up. Everyone else reset up. Everyone else set up, set up, set up, set up, set up. And we need to have someone that's so unbelievably annoying. Just like how I'm being right now. We need someone to be like that in game. But the thing is, what I've realized is Sky does do that. And in my opinion, Sky likes being a lot more passive than I would like to be. However, if there is a lack in comms and Sky is filling that, if you want to follow Sky's tempo calls for the reset, an earlier reset is not bad, right? Where we need to find a bridge is Sky saying to take your time, blah, 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 blah. Sky shouldn't call the tempo. Sky should rein people back in. So what Sky should do is say, okay, come back, reset up. We don't need to chase. Fights won, fights lost. That sort of stuff. But I still want my dive elements or the person with the ult to call the tempo. So what I had an issue with Sky saying, oh no, don't go this early, don't go this early. My issue was the fact that he's not the dive element. You know what I mean? Like, he isn't the dive element. He doesn't need to calm the tempo. And regardless of what we think about Sky's opinion on that, like, you could agree, you could disagree, but it's like objectively true that my dive element should know when they want to dive, or should know when they should dive. You know what I mean? So it's not really a Sky issue at all. It's like a dive issue. Setting up here, okay, cool. We're all set up. The map space that we're controlling is horrible. He gets poked out of nowhere. Why is my Gambit on low ground pre-fight? Why is my Gambit on low ground pre-fight? Well, Sky is on low ground pre-fight. Rush is on, it's really hard to create some form of heal box here. Sky's positioning isn't bad. Sky should actually probably back up more. That's still a decent sideline. Rashid drops down. We can't have 2 people drop down whilst the rest are fighting for space. But we do need to match the rotation, guys. If they go up, we should go wider or something along that line. You know what I mean? Or just change the location, because right now we're static. If they run at us and they're running faster than us and they're using more cooldowns than us, we will lose. We can't lose to a neutral like that. That was the most brain dead thing ever. Like that is so bad. That is so bad.
The mission area. Keep going.
Just the boost I need.
Thanks for the love, love. Here they come now.
Never fall! Just the boost I need.
If we're setting up for a Gambit ult, does my Venom need to be in super early? Surely not. Surely my Venom can path literally in any direction, get the Gambit ult, and then engage from any direction. Look, we need to be fast with this engagement. We're holding it forever because we're trying to get Venom in. And this is an issue that Simba keeps having as well. Where it's like, there's argument that it's not Simba's fault, it's argument that it's not Rashid's fault. We just don't set up for it. Like, if we calm we should know not to go in super deep. We should use the speed to go in super deep. So, I always use this design example, right? I have a friend that is a designer, basically. She does industrial design. And on her course, she doesn't pass if her items don't have multiple functions. And trust me, this is a really, really good analogy. So, if you think about growing up, when you think about sofas, when you grow up, Jesus. When you think about when you were growing up, and sofas when you were a child, sofas were merely there to be sat on. But then, as we've gotten older, we see sofas that recline, we see electronic sofas, we see massage chairs in sofas, we see cup holders in sofas. That's exactly the mentality that we have to have when it comes to ults, right? So, when Invis ult first came out, we were using it to heal. Cool. We were using it to heal. And then people started realizing that you could cage it. You can make people's disengagements become really, really slow. So then we were using it for the heal and the slow. And then you started seeing people Punisher ulting from the Invis ult for the sustain and the invisibility. So now, all of a sudden, we're using all 3 functions of the ult. All 3 functions of the ult. Okay? Think Mantis. Mantis we use to heal. Nice overhealth. But the main thing is speed. We can chase. We always hit a target when we Mantis ult. We always hit a target when we Mantis ult. Because we're using the speed. So now, why is it any different with the Gambit ult? This is why we suck at the Gambit ult. How do we view the Gambit ult? As an engagement tool? Is it just speed? Is it a damage boost? Because I don't understand how we're Gambit ulting so poorly to the fact that we are ×2 their speed and we are still getting kited. How early are we popping it? You know? We need to close the gap. We need to look at kill boxes. Treat it like a Mantis ult. Hit a target. Hit a weak target. Purple the person that has ult. Hit someone that can respond. You know? Because like we said, not only should we be able to catch up to people, even if they pop certain defensive ults, we should be able to kill through them. And it shouldn't be a reason why. Shouldn't be a reason why we can't do that. Like, look, okay, cool. Let's not look at Rashid's POV. Because Rashid needs to live. They'll all target him down. So Simba's stacked. Was there any information? What did Passy see? We all know that they're back there. Can we close the gap between that and that? I would argue that's a bit too far. Do you see what I mean? So, it's also interesting to note that the enemy team are holding this height. They backed, unlike we backed, and then these people are also playing for the correct ranges. That's something that, guys, Crown 4 is playing better macro than us. Off of Brawl! Off of Brawl! Off of Brawl! Jesus. You know? Whoa. I think we need to stop diving on these bunkers as well, in general. Just gonna get hooked and fisted into that every single time. Canute dies on rotation. Oh, Arabucky, bro. Fair enough. I don't hate this as an engage. I don't hate that they've used 2 support ults. Also ult. From here it should be lost. There's no way we should have flipped from here. Cool. Now, this is the big talking point. This is the big talking point. Don't panic. Again, it comes down to being scared. It all comes down to being scared. What are we hiding for? We don't have any ults. We need to build up this Gambit ult. Why are we not making their walk up hard? Does everyone need to be stacked on this side? What's the comm? What is the plan? Do we not want to shoot? We're backing up. Nice. We already did something successful in comparison to what we did before, which was die on rotation on this height. So far so good. Let's look at this angles actually. Simba's occupying the correct lane. Beautiful. Where is my Star-Lord? I would just argue that they should be taking a lot more poke than this on rotation. The enemy team has no ults, we have 3 ults. How do we lose? Look, they're waiting, they're farming ult for no reason. No reason. They still need to touch. So this is what Sky is saying, we don't need to rush it. But, in my opinion, the kill box is very much here. The kill box is when they overstep the corner. This is exactly when I would rocket ult. And I think Gambit ult is the exact same in terms of timing. So we're just waiting for them to drop, waiting for them to drop, waiting for them to drop. We don't need to wait until they touch point. And as far as I'm concerned, look. We can close the gap. We have the speed. My question is, why am I backline this low at this point in time? Shouldn't really matter too much. But how can we say that this ult is early? How can we say that this ult is early? That's a 1-for-1 match. Your quest is not to die to this. Cool. Simba gets rocked. Canuten, this entire time, we're saying, look wolf, look wolf, look wolf, look wolf, look wolf. Look at how low wolf is. Canuten does not turn for the wolf at all. Let's look at who Canuten was shooting.
No winner yet. Going to overtime.
I think you should be setting up. You're 97 to ult. You're gonna get that ult by the end of the fight. The mag ult is out. Set up for a better ult. Play for a sideline right now. We don't need an extra 3% off of the spin. We're gonna get it. Oh, we're shooting time. Now we're looking at wolf. Now we're 3 kills down. I don't think that's a kill box issue. Like, running it back, I don't think that's a kill box issue. I don't think it's too early. How? I'm not going to be in VC for VOD, because I'm going to be busy. But, my question is, how would a later ult have resolved this situation? Other than the fact that they build up a rogue ult off the back of it. We had 3 ults versus 1. We ulted in a position where the proximity is good. We had Star-Lord ult outside of the mag cycle. How is that not a perfect fight from us? You know? I think setups could be better. Conversions could have been better. We got hit by a mag ult. You know? Those are so many misplays leading up to that. So many misplays leading up to that. So just keep that in mind.